welcome to the second episode of Podcasting with Richard. Why the two glasses? Simply because, I want to avoid blue lights since I'm going to go to bed soon. And I have to, keep the lights on because of the video. And I just want to allow my brain to optimally produce the melatonin. But back to the topic. Today, we're going to dive a bit into just the vision for the podcast and what I would like to build. I'm going to freestyle everything for the most part, simply because I was lazy the whole day, at least for the most part, and now I have to compromise. In the first episode, I already dove a bit into the podcast, but something that is really important to me is that you get to say something, that I give you space to voice your opinion, your ideas, that you have a chance where you, can give feedback or whatever. And I want that the people that listen to the podcast have influence, that they can direct where the podcast is heading. How does the podcast look like? They can, change the cover of the podcast. Still got to work on this though, or the names, or even like how we, for example, write the video descriptions when we upload the episodes onto YouTube. Guests that we invite to the podcast. I want you to do something, to feel like, okay, I want you to feel seen, feel heard. I want you to have the feeling that, hey, I can do something. I'm actually doing an impact. And I don't want to do this podcast thing on my own. I don't really know why. I just thought that doing things this way would be super cool, and something that generally just pisses me off when it comes to social media is mainly that it's just a highlight reel, and that in a way you are watching a movie about the life of someone else. And I just hate that, because it leads in most cases to insecurities in a lot of people that they don't really need. And you you stop appreciating all the wonderful things in your own life. So I want you to not watch the movie, but actually partake and be in the movie. Now, about the vision, I have to admit that I have just to do. Sorry, I have to admit that I still have to do a lot of personal work with Jesus, just with my heart posture, because right now, a part of myself still wants to do all this stuff for, my own glory, and also because I want to piss off some evil people in this world. But that's not right. I just want to do it because I love God's children and I love Him. Yeah, but something that I want to do is I want to let me put this as simple as possible. I want to unite people and work with them together to have to create a positive to create a positive impact on the world by helping each other out in whatever way we can, by exchanging you know information. For example, let's say you are an expert in when it comes to like lifting weights, for example. You know a lot about the correct form, how you should breathe, for example, when you do a bench press. And then you could pair that person with someone that is an expert in nutrition, and those people work together, for example, to help people that struggle just with their fitness. And I want to do that in a lot of different ways, not only when it comes to, let's say, exercising, for example, but stuff like learning, building a business, advertising, reading, or like creative things, how to compose music, for example, or like how to learn an instrument, or wait, I just have to, ouch, grab something out of my gym bag. Yeah. And I want that we not only focus on like stuff that is big or important or in the eyes of most people valuable, but that we also do stuff that like focus on getting better, and doing things that seem small and insignificant. Even like stuff like teaching people how to solve a Rubik's Cube. Teaching something like this doesn't seem to be, it doesn't appear to be that valuable, but wait, just gotta grab a book. Something that I believe in is that value is everywhere. Everybody has value and a skill that can be used for the greater good of society. And this book actually talks about this, Mastery by Robert Greene. Basically, a short summary: everybody has a skill, sort of like a talent that they are born with. And basically, you need to figure out what that skill slash talent is and use that skill to just sort of max out everything in your life. And I believe that you can apply that way of thinking, or that principle, however you want to call it, to even to something like learning to solve a Rubik's Cube. And I just would really like to just get a bunch of people together that you know that know something valuable, however you define that, and work with them together to have like this network, this crew, this team, or whatever, and that we impact like the world in some way. And I don't want that this is like where I'm like sort of the king, the leader, or whatever, but that it's like sort of like a big family, you know. And if we have someone that proposes like a great idea for, I don't know, a business or whatever, but he, I don't know, doesn't have enough money to actually get things started, then we're like, okay, I'm gonna help you out. There's this German saying, I'm German, for those who care, that says the following: Eine Hand wäscht die andere. Or in English, one hand washes another. So basically, I wash your hands and you wash my hands. Completely, for completely free. I don't expect things in return. That's just the idea that I have. And I don't know how this is going to look like. I believe that at the end of the day, if I get the green light from the man upstairs, things are gonna look like a lot differently than I imagine them right now. At least I believe that this is gonna be the case, because I noticed that this is a pattern that keeps repeating itself in my walk with Christ. But now to the whole heart posture thing. I noticed that the more I follow Christ, the more I realize how cooked I am. Like the longer I follow Jesus, the more I realize how much more I actually need him. And the two things about my heart posture that I mentioned at the beginning, it's just the surface. It runs way deeper, and I think I really gotta tackle these things first being more humble, not claiming anything for myself. And also, like, this aspect of wanting to piss off some evil people out there is also wrong. Yes, it's a valid reason to be angry at people that cause suffering to happen, but you will crash if what you are doing gets fueled by hatred instead of love. And I believe that I'm just gonna get much further. Everything is just gonna be much bigger and much more quote unquote successful when I move from a standpoint where I actually do things because I love Jesus and because I love the people. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm still thinking about like more stuff that I could share about this whole heart posture thing, but just nothing comes to mind right now. Um, I just know I to just again keep it short. I just noticed that in a lot of ways my heart is just not in the it doesn't has the right heart posture, and it starts with wanting parts wanting to claim parts for myself for my own glory, or wanting to piss people off, or wanting to be some kind of king, some kind of ruler, someone that is bigger than anyone else. But the truth is that this is something that God just keeps reminding me with this whole content thing, that it's not because of my own strength, not because of my own hard work, not because of my own talent. It's simply just because of God and of the people that support me. And I think that I need I need to start to breathe this fact, if you get what I mean, that every that every breath is just that this just is something that gets burned into my soul. Yeah, that's pretty much like the vision that I have. I don't want that this is like sort of like some club, quote unquote, or whatever. And I would like to also go beyond like helping just people who have a internet connection, that can see the stuff that we are doing. It would also be super awesome to like do something in third world countries, such as, I don't know, building schools or wells, or whatever. Like, truly, even like impacting and changing the lives of people that have never heard about us, that have never seen us, that have never seen a phone, a PC, a laptop, social media, an Instagram feed, or whatever. I believe that because I have been saved by Christ, I am more wealthy than 99% of people on this planet. And I believe that it's my duty to just share the wealth that I have with the world. I absolutely hate paywalls. So I would like to minimize that as well. I don't want that people have to pay to enter sort of into this network, or that they have to pay to access certain information. I would like that, um, you know, people can pay if they want to, how often they want to, and how much they want to, but they are not obligated to pay anything. And this might, I gotta grab another book to explain this, or to just illustrate it better, rather. I want you to go out there and to find your crew and your own One Piece. One Piece is a fictional story, a manga, one of my favorite mangas of all time. And it is a story that, oddly enough, seems to be really similar to like my life, not with the journey that I'm taking and just overall everything that is happening. And I want people to sort of be part of my crew, but something that I want is that you sort of become that when I have someone. Like, I appreciate you for the support. I love you a lot for that, but I would like to get to a point where, obviously, if you want to, you can go off. You can be the captain of your crew. You can find your own One Piece. And that's like also something that I would like to do within this network. That we are like one crew. Jesus is our captain. I'm sort of like one of the dudes, or the gals dudes, kind of. Maybe we probably also maybe gonna have some women that, gonna provide insane value. But something, that I would like is that at some point, if you want, you can like stay on the ship. But if there's something that you feel like I want to do, I need to do, I feel called to do that thing, then I want you to, find your own crew, to be your own captain, to find your One Piece. Yes, you're not gonna be on my ship, but I want to support you regardless. Like, I don't know, I'm gonna give you some of my berries, some of my treasures, some of the maps that I have, just support you and your crew. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I feel super emotional talking about this. Yeah, that's it. I'm just gonna end the episode here. I thank you for listening. And again, I'm not gonna run any ads on this. I'm gonna say this more often, or at least once an episode, one time per episode. The best way you can support it, this whole thing that we have here right now, is just wherever you are seeing this or listening to, just, I don't know, follow if you want to, like if you want to, comment if you want to. That you watched this far or listen this far into the episode is just enough of a blessing, and I appreciate you so much for that. Yeah, I love you, and God bless.